All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Jedi Archives, the Guardians of the Wills. I'm Michael.
And I'm Chris. And Jonathan is lost somewhere, but the Force will find him and bring him back.
As it always does.
It does.
And today we're excited to share with you the High Republic Adventures #2.
From Dark Horse Comics and written by one of our favorite authors, Daniel Jose Older.
So let's look at the cover. This is, of course, the exploits of our favorite Padawan, Sav Maligan. And this comic only has one cover, no variants this time. But I like all the colors. I like her 2 purple sabers.
Yes. Very cool. A lot of action going on here. As we can see, the Dank Grax and Maz's crew going at it here.
Yeah, the only one we don't see Maz in this cover though.
No, but Alec is there in the background. I'm trying to think who else. Obviously Sav.
Yeah.
Abadu, I believe, is on there as well.
Abadu is the one who fixes the ship.
Oh, Abadu, you're right. No,
yeah.
You're right. I'm trying to think. The big guy that
Coromant?
Yes, Coromant. Thank you.
The guy that's got the law on his back.
Yep. Yeah, he's in the back right. You're looking at the
punching.
Yeah.
All right. So nice cover, very colorful. I like it. It's funny because the art style on the cover doesn't match the art style inside the issue. It's 2 different art styles, right? So it says here, her secret safe for now. Jedi Padawan Sav Maligan begins to adjust her life undercover on a ship full of pirates. But after coming face to face with the explosive consequences of her actions, Sav begins to wonder where her loyalties lie, with the Jedi Order or her new friends. So here we have all the wonderful creators, and I've added a bunch of these pictures, but I can't find Jimmy Betancourt anywhere. Sav Maligan's the main character, and here are all the supporting actors or characters. Abadu, and I uploaded his picture. He was upside down, but I flipped him. So he's the ship tech. Here's Coromant Bizzle, Lavalox Version, Raph. He's like the marshal, right?
Yeah, he's the pirate hunter.
Pirate hunter, that's right.
Yeah, pirate hunter. We find a little bit more about him in Alak here in this in this issue.
Yeah, we have Alak, we have Dexter Jetster, Maz Kanata, Sayakim, Arkig Vaughn, who is a Geonosian. We have Dern.
Force sensitive too.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, I think he's force sensitive.
I think so too. It was surprising. So, and we have Dern here, who looks like a from Mooney List, right? Doesn't he?
He looks like from Utapau.
No, right? The Utapauans. No, I think he's a Moon from Mooney List. Because they had no nose, like the one who was
Yes.
I think right, because he has no nose. And then Quiet Shan and Therm Scissor Punch. So about half of these pictures I uploaded just 2 days ago. So it's pretty cool.
Good old Therm Scissor Punch.
Yep. He's quiet in this issue. I didn't hear anything from him. Not a peep.
No.
So let's get into the comic itself. I'm back here at my Comixology page, which is now, of course, part of Amazon. So it's on Kindle. And the High Republic. Daniel Jose Older. And it starts out with our team here. Sav is undercover. I mean, yeah, she's undercover. With her squad of friends on the Venom Scabbard, the ship, Maz's ship.
Yep.
And they're talking about what they're gonna do next. And Sav is like, nobody knows I'm a Padawan except for Dex, but he won't tell. And
right.
They just think she's a kid along for the ride. So then they encounter this ship that's been floating out in space. It's a Dank Grax ship. and it's been sitting there for a while, so they're gonna go see what they can find.
I love the maximum chaos.
Yeah. Well, Maz Kanata. Interesting. So I'm going to change the view to full view. And so they prepare to get on board. And, there's our little friend Abadu hanging from the ceiling in that bottom left corner.
Yes. Yep.
And it's funny because Sav is like, what is that? And Abadu gets offended. And Maz is like, it's not a what, it's a who, it's Abadu. And Abadu's going to stay and fix the hyperdrive, right?
Right. Yep.
And everybody else is going to go on board the ship. And here you see the crew. It's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
Maz with her super suit on.
About the same size as Rocket.
Yeah. And then here we go to the other ship. Actually, they're on three separate little vector-like ships, right? And
yeah, so I get Vector, but I also get oh man, I'm drawing the blank. Not the X-Wing, but the predecessor to it that was in the Republic.
In the prequel movies, right? Yeah. It had the triple wings. I saw that too. I got that too.
Drawing a blank on the actual technical name on them, but that's what those reminded me of when I saw them.
Mm-hmm. Like a blend of the two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have Lavalok's version. I love him. He's so colorful. He's this crazy tongue out, like
Yeah, he looks like he's his face reminds me of like a Mayan or an Incan mask.
Yeah. Yep.
Wearing.
Very colorful. And so we learned that they've been hiding out, waiting for the crew to get to their ship that they left out there as bait. And these are the dank Gracks. Meanwhile, back on their own ship, they've landed, the crew's there, and they're about to explore and find out, who they're working for, what they're after, and that's the plan. So Maz splits them up into 3 teams. Then we find out that go ahead.
Droid.
What was that? A lone droid. They
stumble across this lonely droid who is actually hilarious.
It is hilarious because it's somebody's lover, right?
No, the droid. No, he makes threats, but he just gets absolutely dismantled, and he still makes threats.
And he makes pirate voice, right?
Yeah,
he sounds like a pirate.
No, I think this is where the conversation we're having though is why Alec is so hell bent on dismantling the droid is because the encounter between Rafe and Alec and the fact that there was a point back with the history that they one was sent to eliminate the other, and then they ended up falling in love. So,
pent up aggression, huh?
Yeah, it was a trip down memory lane that Alec is letting out his aggression on this droid with.
And it's funny because the droid tells him, "Unhand me," and so Alec unhands him in Star Wars fashion. So he totally destroys that little droid and just keeps his head.
Yeah, where's it a necklace?
It's a necklace. Yeah. Oops, I skipped too much. So yeah, here he is he's wearing him as a necklace, and that's where they're giving us the backstory. And this is where we find out that Coromant has the law actually physically on his back.
Yes. Yeah.
So a little tiny officer has been living on Coromant's back.
Yeah, that's funny.
That was funny. And then Sav is learning about her fellow crewmates. And then we get back onto the we discover that the controls are weird. It's an ancient technology. They're not quite sure how to fly.
It's Tund.
Tund?
Like like that sorcerer that's in Jeddah.
Oh yes.
Which we'll
spoiler alert.
Learn a little bit more about in a different issue.
And they start to get attacked by their own ship,
Yep.
has been taken over by the Danks.
And I love like the picture when you get the side view here of Maz's ship. You can kind of see if you were to take a side profile of an actual pirate ship that the actual like bulk of the ship looked very much like a pirate ship, and in your two like sails there on the top. So I thought it was really, really cool that we're considering them a pirate. And obviously we've got the cannon holes on the side, very reminiscent of, Pirates of the Caribbean, or, Black those ships where they would go side by side, galley to galley.
That looks really cool, really cool. And then it also kind of looks like the Firefly, right?
Yeah, a little bit yeah.
So they're getting pummeled by their own ship.
Yep.
And meanwhile, they don't know how to fly it. And then we find out, going back to Maz's ship that has been taken over by the Dank Grax.
Dank Grax.
Mm-hmm. And that's where we find out that the only way to fly that ship is to use the Force. Mm-hmm. So you can't fly the ton ship unless you have the Force. And luckily for us, we know that Sav has the Force.
We also know that Maz is Force sensitive from.
Well, she spills the beans here. She goes, "Oh, fine," because the little droid is laughing. Like, what are you laughing at, little droid? The destroyed droid's like, "Well, you need the Force to fly this," and Maz's like, "Oh, fine. Let me try. I don't know if I'll be much use." And then Maz sends Sav to go to the gunners because you would need the Force to control that too. Now we know Sav is a Force sensitive, but nobody else does, or nobody else is supposed to, except for Dexter. Yeah, Dexter. So they go on down, and they use the Force. The Dank Rex think that they've got it made. They're attacking their own ship, and that's where we find out that the Geonosian also is Force sensitive, right?
Yeah, I do believe he is. Yes. But going back to the previous page, actually the law guy knocked Coromon out, if you noticed. That's why Coromon's on the floor. He gets kicked in the face.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, is that? I thought they got knocked over. Oh no, he says,
Yeah. Pretty much did.
I didn't notice that. Yeah. Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah.
Little tiny guy.
Oh, hilarious.
And so then they start getting shot at themselves.
Yep.
And they're like, well, how is that possible? And you know what? They're using side cannons, right?
No, they kind of their cannons are the green.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so they're kind of attacking it from the side, and then as they're passing the ship, then Maz's ship returns fire out of a traditional, like
pirate cannons,
naval style. That'd be just, man, even think about that. Like when you are back in the day, whether you're, on a British naval ship or, you're on a pirate ship and you're down there, just boom, 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 with cannons, just let it fly across into another ship. It's crazy.
Funny. And so then they're going to go for a head-on. They're playing chicken.
Yep.
And all of a sudden but going back over here, when the ship starts shooting back at them, they're like, how's that possible? How are they firing? And it's because Sav is at the gunners.
Yeah.
And then there's like blasts across their bow. Like, what's that? And it's the pirate hunter.
Yeah, going Rafe.
Warning both of them that they were both against the law. So he's going to arrest both of them.
Yep.
And neither party wants to get arrested. So what do? They skedaddle.
And Maz pretty much goes, yep, sorry, Alec. Peace out.
Yeah. And they've left Abadu secretly, unbeknownst to the Dank Grax. They have a little spy on board.
Yep.
And Maz knows where their hangouts are, so she'll find them soon. And that brings us to the end.
Reveal. Yeah, the big reveal page where Maz is like, I've known the whole time.
Mhm.
I know you're a Padawan. I know who your master is. I know who you are. And all she's just like, wait, Maz knows who I am?
That's the only thing that matters to her. She's super excited because she thought that Maz, how can Maz know her? She's a nobody because Maz is legendary. So
yeah, but again, Maz is very force sensitive too.
yes, she is. As we confirmed in this issue, because she's able to pilot the ship. And so now we know that she is force sensitive. And the next cover is previewed here.
Yeah, looks like going to be a couple weeks. We'll be diving into that one.
The trap is sprung. Looks like fire.
Yep.
She's like on the outside of a ship. It's falling apart. It looks like the one on
She looks
Coruscant, right?
Yeah, she looks like she's climbing up a ship that's kind of falling apart there in the sky.
Going through the atmosphere of some planet burning up. So pretty cool. So overall, what do you think of this episode of this issue, Bryce?
For me, I give it a solid 4 out of 5. Like it was cool. Progressed the story a little bit. You know, we obviously find out that Maz knows who Sav is, and we find out that Sav is very much like there's a part where she says, "Oh man, going undercover is easy," but then she goes, "But maybe this is who I am, and maybe when I am a Padawan, that I'm actually undercover as a Padawan." You know, so she's definitely questioning where she lies in, you know, in the grand scheme of the Jedi Order, or, you know, being a pirate. But I mean, we all know which way she goes in the end, but the adventure, how she gets there is really cool to see. But yeah, it's 4 out of 5 holocrons for me.
4 out of 5? I think so too. I give it 4 out of 5. Usually I give high scores, but it is solid. It is good, but it's not as good as some other issues we're going to talk about later. I really enjoyed that we got to see more characters that were in the first issue. So I don't know if you noticed that I think the Dank Rex, some of them were in the Maz's Cantina.
Yeah, because of the meeting.
Right.
Yeah, meeting out in the woods, that the Geonosian was actually there. Yeah, so they were there.
So to actually follow up with those characters that were in an issue that we didn't really know anything about, and then now we get to learn more about them. It's building up these characters, so I like that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably, for this particular story, they're probably the main antagonists, would be my guess.
I agree.
So we'll probably get a lot of Sav, a lot of Maz. I'm feeling like, you know, there's probably going to be an arc. When this arc ends, I would assume, you know, Dex is probably going to go off and do his own thing. Like, I always feel like I would enjoy a 4-issue Jester series. I think that would be kind of cool. Set between.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Maybe just before the, you know, maybe a backstory of like where he got from here to owning a diner on Coruscant. Like, you know, here he is very suave, very, you know, obviously in a lot better shape. You know what I mean? Like, he definitely settled on Coruscant in that diner, but still has all his connections. Like, I would love to see how he transitioned into that. So
yeah, I agree. Me too. So thanks for joining us. Please be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, and we also want to thank, obviously, our partner pages, Star Wars Book Nerds, Star Wars Comic Book Club. If you're not a member of those, always highly recommend joining. And I always thank our own page, the Star Wars Celebration Europe 2023.
And until the next time, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.